At a time where the developers are not exactly the fastest in releasing new content, players often end up making their own fun. Passionate communities all over the world in all kinds of games have turned to making their own game modes that were not even supported in any direct way by the game itself. Thankfully, Overwatch has the option for us to create custom games. As limited as it may feel in some regards, there's still a lot of fun to be had in making your own game modes. And some of them are surprisingly simple to set up, but ever the more fun to play. Now, in today's video, I want to present my personal top 3 best custom game modes that I love playing. Needless to say that it's always more fun to play them with friends, but you can also just set up an open lobby and play them with random people. We're gonna be kicking this list off with a game mode that is a bit more out there when it comes to the rule set. That means you can't actually enforce your rules via the custom game creator, and that's why it's number 3. However, even when I play this game mode with random people, once everyone understood the rule set, there is still a lot of fun to be had. And the other 2 game modes are actually held entirely within the rules that you can enforce on a settings level. Now let's get this party started with number 3, Infection. The setup phase is very simple because it's just a regular FFA. The rules that every player has to abide by though consist of the following. Every player preferably starts off on a different hero, and every time somebody takes you out, you have to switch to the hero that got you upon respawning. Do not attack other players who also got infected. You are essentially creating a makeshift team with anyone who plays the same hero. The game ends when everyone was infected and has to play the same character. It's very reminiscent of zombie type game modes you have probably seen in various other games where the point is to infect every player in the lobby. Now obviously, there are a couple downsides to this game mode because there's no way non-infected players can win, as would be the case in other games. But it's still a fun game mode to play with friends who you know will stick to the rules. When I played the game mode in open lobbies, the owner usually just kicked players who did not stick to the rules. And the worst I've seen when it comes to cheating is that players have killed their own comrades to avoid them having to switch to a different hero when they were low on HP. Nonetheless, it's a game mode I highly recommend you give a shot. Number 2 on our list is something for all of you who have trouble accepting the MOBA-esque nature of Overwatch. At the end of the day, they are marketing the game as an FPS, but you rarely get the feeling that it plays like one. To get the satisfaction of clicking heads without having to pay attention to MOBA-type abilities on cooldown, I recommend the good old-fashioned Widowmaker Headshot FFA. Now listen, I know that a lot of people like to claim that Widowmaker is such an incredibly difficult hero because, oh my god, you actually have to aim. But honestly, if you have played first-person shooters in the past, then I am sure you're gonna get a kick out of this one. The setup is very simple. Widowmaker only, headshot only, disable Venom Mine and regular shooting, and put Grappling Hook on a short cooldown. After all, trick shots are where it's at. Chateau is a good map for this game mode, but you should keep a few things in mind. For one, I don't recommend making the lobby bigger than 12 players, because at that point, it can get frustrating to have somebody look at you at all times whenever you respawn. 6 to 12 players is what I found worked the best, even for players who are not usually playing Widowmaker. It's enough players for you to be able to get the jump on somebody, but not so many that you always have a crosshair on you upon respawning. And after playing this a few times, even friends of mine who play tanks and supports without a lot of FPS experience managed to pull off some sick shots. King's Row is another great map for this game mode, and I know that people like to use Necropolis as well, but personally, I found it to be very annoying that everyone spawns on rooftops most of the game with very little cover available. It just felt too chaotic to me. So yeah, Widowmaker Headshot FFA might not make you a god sniper in competitive play, but it's definitely a fun classic you can pull out whenever you want to click some heads without getting jumped on by monkeys and robo ninjas all the time. And lastly on our list, my favorite game mode that can be equally as fun with random people as much as it is a ton of fun when played with friends. Number 1, Mystery FFA. You know, every time people give me a hard time about using footage where I play Roadhog in FFA, which is universally seen as a scummy thing to do? Yeah, that's not by choice. Mystery FFA, as the name implies, combines the rule sets of mystery heroes with some good old-fashioned FFA. That means that every time you get taken out, you spawn as a random new hero. You can play it on any map with pretty much as many players as you like, and chances are that you will have fun playing it. There are a few things you should pay attention to though. For example, some heroes just are not very fun to play as or against. Which heroes that includes is obviously up to you and your friends. In our circle of friends, we have decided that the following heroes should be disabled for an optimal experience: Baguette, D.Va, Moira, Symmetra, Sombra, Hammond, and Zarya. Being one of the best 1v1 heroes in the game, I don't think I have to explain why we excluded the Shield Maiden, but when it comes to Symmetra and Sombra, they're just plain annoying. And I guess the same goes for Hammond and Moira to a certain extent as well. Zarya is not part of the crew simply because it's really difficult to get to high charge in an FFA, so playing her just feels like a chore. There are other heroes we did not exclude, like Torbjorn and Mercy for example, just because there's great meme potential to be had. Hammering or pistol whipping somebody to death is usually just pretty funny to us. But hey, if you can't stand Doomfist and Roadhog, or if you dread playing Orisa and Reinhardt, then you can just disable them. Since you can enforce all the rules on a settings basis, it's a great game mode to play with either your friends or random people in custom games. You can also play it on any map you like with any amount of players, so long that you get at least 5 is what I would say. And this already concludes today's video on my personal top 3 best custom game modes in Overwatch. What I love about these is their simplicity. There are obviously other game modes you can have a lot of fun with, but they usually require players to adhere to rules you cannot enforce in the settings, or I just plain and simply don't like them, which is why they did not make the list. But hey, if you got any other fun game modes you want to share, let us know about them down in the comment section below. But this is it for me here today, so thank you everybody so much for watching. Don't forget to drop me a like on your way out if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to see more, and maybe share this video with a friend you think will find it interesting. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you all next time.